There we go. And it kind of snaps into a place like a puzzle is what it is. But yeah, this next part is hard. Let me get all this shit out of here. See, I already got some corrosion I can see on my controller from the joysticks. And so I should be using a rag or something small. Oh, fuck, that is I think it's corrosion. Maybe it's just the way the controller's set up. But anyway, you have these rubber parts too. So let me set this down over here. You have these rubber parts, these rubber mats, as you can see. There is one for the D-pad, the buttons, the Xbox button, and the menu and start button. And basically, you want to make sure these are over the circuits that they're going down to. Because if you put these in the wrong way or they're not touching exactly, your buttons won't respond to you when you push them. So, got to make sure those are in the right place. Yeah, okay, so here's the hardest part, and you will see what I mean. This is getting the controller snapped back in. So the first thing you always want to make sure, I always do it because I'm right-handed, I keep the face always in my right hand, and you got to make sure the buttons are all into their little grooves, that they fit into the puzzle. It looks like all of mine are, but obviously they can rattle loose, they can do all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to put this back onto here, and it should snap into place, but you got to keep in mind it's probably better to fit the joysticks in first. So let me see if I can do this. Like I said, it's hard, especially with a face that's not made by Microsoft, because it doesn't always fit right. And see, I want to see how I'm keeping the face pointed down towards the ground so the pieces don't slip out. Come on. And you got to kind of wiggle it to get it into place. And I just might have broke the controller. Let me see, let me see. Nope, it just snapped out of place. So like I said, this is going to take a few tries. So I had the gray bottom piece snap out, the bottom right here. So you got to snap it back in. And then all that you do is you try again. You come here, and like I said, I always keep the face downward, because if I tilt it upward, obviously the pieces will, they're not glued down, so they'll start sliding out. And the first thing I always go with, I always try and get the joysticks in the hole first, because they always seem to get caught. So you want to go through here. It looks like they made it through okay. Oh my god. So there it is. And it connected. I always push the buttons before I screw everything back in. And like literally when I do this, you can tell the difference right here. Like this is flying on here. The joysticks are going, look at this. I'm barely touching it and they're going to the end. And there's very little friction. I can go all the way bend here and there's very little friction. Same for the one up top. So this is what eliminates the slow turn on it. Wow, and literally that was the easiest I've ever popped it into place. So thank God this is a live video and you guys didn't have to watch me struggle for 20 minutes. See, and then you always got some extra shavings, so I just want to make sure. And the rest of it is pretty self-explanatory. All you're going to do is screw the thing back in. And that is how you fix a slow turn controller. It's pretty easy. It is only a temporary fix. Cody, like you said in the chat, it is best to buy a controller that is already has no slow turn to begin with. Like you said, the controller freaks, those controllers. I know any controller that you buy off scuffgaming.com, they have no slow turn. And then I believe the MLG controller doesn't have slow turn either. But yeah, basically what you're going to want to do is screw this thing back in. It is a good idea to go, like if I screw in, I always screw in the middle of the controller first, obviously to keep it intact. And then I just go left to right, left to right. You don't want to do all the left side, then all the right side, because you can feel it kind of give and pull. And when I first get the screws in, I don't tighten them all the way. I kind of just ease it in a little bit and leave them like that until I got all the screws in the controller, and then I'll go back and tighten everything. So, like I said, the big question now is we're going to play a game once I get this all screwed in, and we're going to see if the slow turn makes a difference at all. which I hope it will, because like I said, the controller feels great. I should almost go back and do it on my black controller, because actually this controller I'm using is my secondary controller. It's usually the one I play FIFA with, and I don't even know why I have two controllers for two different games. I'm just picky like that. Just that big of a nerd. But I do. So I'll probably end up doing my black controller tomorrow. But yeah, so I got this, screw it in a little bit. And like I said, the screws, because the face doesn't go on correctly exactly how you'd like it, usually these top two screws are going to be stripped a little bit. They're not going to go in as you'd like. So these top two ones, the screws at the very top of the controller on the back right here, they're probably going to be a little bit skewed. And that's fine. I mean, as long as the controller holds correct and they're not bugging you while you're playing, you should be fine. And one more. Let's go here. And wow, and that one actually, to be all honest with you guys, those top two screwed in 10 times better than when I did it the first time, when I actually created this controller. He had 8 different controllers. That's awesome. So these actually screwed in a little bit better. So now that I got that, I want to go through and I want to just tighten each side, which is usually a half turn to a full turn. And I just want to make it look good, get it all in. Got that. But yeah, like I said, this is a temporary fix, but it really does work. So let me get the cups out of the way. Throw them over here. Get the webcam back up. Get the scraps on the floor, because I got hardwood floor, so I can just sweep that shit up later. Get my keyboard back. Get my mouse back. Shut my drawers. Get the webcam back where I want it. And like, I know this is obviously elementary stuff, but it's always a good idea to just, you know, put everything back right away. Don't be lazy, just because that's how you lose shit. So I always keep, these are basically, this is my little tool set that I got from Walmart. I think I got it for $7.99. It comes with 3 flatheads and 3 Phillips screwdrivers, and they're good to use on laptops. I've used it on my iPod. I've used it on controllers. Really good purchase right there. Comes with a nice little case. Alright, so now the moment of truth. We are going to see if this even did anything at all. So let me come back here. Get the headsets. I just love showing this thing off. Oh, now that I got the video blown up, my webcam, that is the tags that I bought for these. And I just love that painting. Guy and a girl playing against each other, and then they got the monitors for the mine. And like I said, these are all magnetic, so they literally come right off, and it goes right back in. Get the controller plugged in. And I will get my ugly mug off the screen here in a second. And actually, I'm